We have a lot to get to this afternoon. I was a little surprised by Arande's generous B- to Mike McDaniel. I thought that was going to be a much harsher grade.
Yes.
And he's kind of right, too. Mike McDaniel and Tua, I guess, will be attached at the hip, and whatever you think one did, they're just they kind of work in unison. And
Mike McDaniel took this job because of knowing Tua was his guy. And that's the thing. I was just arguing with somebody. They heard the 2020 draft, and I had Tua over Herbert and Love, and my man had a problem with that because he was like, Love just won a playoff game.
Right.
Herbert's been consistently healthy all the time. So he's arguing about me having 2 or 3, but Burrow and Hurt have both won the Super Bowls. Hands down, Hawk, I got them over.
You get to a Super Bowl.
You've won your conference.
You've done it.
But Love, Herbert, Tua, we redraft them right now. I'm taking Tua over Herbert and Love. That's my opinion.
I think I would as well, although
and my man's still mad.
Did he bring out his charts and his numbers?
He's still mad. I'm just telling you.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I was very impressed with Jordan Love during this, certainly at the end of the season and the last couple of weeks. But man, people have a short memory when it comes to Tua. You think, and again, I understand what Arande was saying was you've got to will your team to victory.
Yes.
You've got to get a first down when, like, at some point you have to be elite, at least in a situation. Mm-hmm. The reason I thought it was interesting, though, when David Fioranes tweeted that out was you understand, like, it's not just Tua who wants that extension. His representation, like his agent, if I'm Tua and I got a guy and his income is based off my income, but I chose him, and you're the guy who's going to represent me. Wait a second. I'm going into my 5th season. Joe Burrow got his money.
Yep.
Justin Herbert got his money.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts
killed him.
Got his money. Did Jordan Love get his money?
No, but Jordan was sitting out because he was sitting behind Aaron and all that.
Right.
So I don't think Jordan deserves his money yet, but the same argument for Tua because he was going in and out with Ryan Fitzpatrick his first couple of years with Brian Flores.
But it's been his team the last couple of seasons.
And that's the thing. And if Mike McDaniel, to your point and what OG said, Hawk, if Mike McDaniel's attached to Tua, who it's so funny, we're in the playoffs now, and you diminish what they did regular season. Tua had more passing yards than everyone we're going to speak about in this conversation. Him and Mike McDaniel. That offense.
It's 305. Dale. Plus, dale.
Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome. And Josh Allen, enjoy Cancun, you bum.
Wow. Guy stinks.
Hey, man, don't do that.
Guy stinks.
Josh balled yesterday.
Solana says Love signed a 1-year max extension for next season. So what does he get next season? Do you know?
Yeah, he gets $10 million base salary, and basically he makes around $10 million next year.
Well, Tua will make like $23 million next year.
Burrow and Hurt wouldn't get out to bed for $10 million.
But I would, like, if I'm Tua, I'm kind of looking at my agent side-eyed, going, wait a second. Because you know what happened. I mean, you played the game. There's other agents that are calling, going, if you were with me, you'd have gotten that extension already.
Yep.
So that's where, people talk about, maybe Tua's a nice guy and he enjoys Mike McDaniel. Even if Tua's a nice guy, I don't know who his agent is. I guarantee you the agent is a killer. Because you're not an NFL agent if you're not a killer.
Joe Burrow has $250 million coming his way. Jalen Hurts has $250 million coming his way. Herbert, same thing, $200+ million. And I'm Tua sitting here really on a lame duck deal.
And
franchise that $23 million.
Just led the league in passing.
And I was healthy.
Right. And the big knock on me was, hey, can he stay healthy? Hey, I started 17 games.
Mm-hmm. And led the league in passing.
And you still can't get me my money?
I would see Tua being upset if they don't do something with him. Now the question is, would I give Tua that 5-year or plus deal with what's going on? That's the conversation that Chris Greer and the Dolphins have to have, Hawk. Because I don't know if I'm giving Tua a 6-7-year deal.
By the way, that Jordan Love extension, it was actually a 1-year max, $22.5 million extension, which preceded the 5th-year option, which is what Tua would play on next season if there is no contract agreed upon.
So Tua got extension as well. Then
Right, the Dolphins picked up his fifth year.
I got you. Okay,
but Jordan Love, so he got 13.5 fully guaranteed at signing, which is why he's only making 10.5 next year in terms of his base salary.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I mean, Tua was a top 5 pick, right? Like Jordan Love
correct.
wasn't. That's the difference.
Correct. No, there's a big difference. That's what I'm saying. Like if I'm Tua and my agent and I'm having lunch with them, I'm going, well, wait a second. Like you said, be a good soldier this season. Like now, maybe something is in the works. Like maybe you'll hear something in the next few weeks. But I'm saying to you, like there's a lot at play here. It's not just Tua. There's an agent who probably has a lot on the line, not just monetarily, but reputation-wise, if he can't get this guy paid.
Let's talk about them three, because if our name was Channing Tagovailoa and I was Tua's brother or family member, you're not in the Jordan Love conversation. You're in the Herbert, Burrow, and Hurt conversations with what you did this season with the numbers you had. Don't tell me about a fifth-year option of rookie deal. I want to get the $250 million that those other top quarterbacks have. If Tua asked me about it, bro, don't compare yourself to Jordan Love. Jordan Love had about 3-4 good games at the end of the season, did win a playoff game, and then just got whooped by the 49ers. Tua, if you look at the numbers and look at everything, Tua should not be in the Love category. Tua should be in the Herbert and Burrow category.
My gut is telling me he's going to get the extension with the Dolphins.
I don't see how they don't.
That's
just,
my gut.
I can't figure out the path that they would be choosing if they don't.
But
Drake
Hawk,
May or Michael Penix. You want to go that way? If y'all don't like Tua, do you want to go Michael Penix direction or Drake May direction? That's what you're choosing.
no, I mean you're choosing that he proves it to you next season. I think if you're the Dolphins, you're choosing that he hopes he'll bet on himself like Christian Wilkins did this year. And it ended up working out for Christian Wilkins. Part of it is luck, right? Like he didn't have a season-ending injury that would cost him millions. But, man, I don't know. I'm watching those playoff games this weekend, and I'm thinking to myself, truly, and I know you guys pin me as a Tua hater, but I'm thinking, he's going to be able to beat Mahomes in a playoff game? Is he ever going to be able to beat Lamar Jackson in a playoff game? Josh Allen on the road in a playoff game? I don't know. I don't know if he will. And I believe that's the way the front office feels as well, because if not, they would have already given him that extension.
That I don't disagree with. They could have given it to him easily heading into this season. But I do think they wanted to see his durability.
Yeah.
Because he had such that concussion narrative last season. That kind of has gone out the window. I mean, obviously, the first time you get injured, it's going to be back, and I don't think many quarterbacks go season after season without being injured. So it's going to happen again. But I just don't understand the path that you'd be taking if you say Tua's not our guy, which is what you'd be saying, essentially. Like
Rookie, you got to go young.
Right. We're happy to rent him for another year, but he's not our guy. And I'm just kind of at the point where, like, man, what more do you need to see about this guy to know that he's your guy?
It's exactly what Solana just said. And I'm agreeing with you, Solana, but I'm just putting context behind it. You just brought up Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, who are generational talents. They're special football players. Can you see Tua can't beat Jared Goff? Like, go to the other conference.
Right.
Tua can't play with Jared Goff. And I've been praising Jared Goff all year. He had an amazing season. Tua can play right with Jared Goff. Brock Purdy, you put Tua on that 49er offense with those weapons, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Ayuk, and all those. I think Tua can do the exact thing Brock Purdy does. Is Tua going to be outclassed by really two guys that are MVP candidates every single year and Patrick Mahomes, who I believe is going to supersede Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback ever? No, Tua can't play with the best football player in the history of the game, but he is still a top guy. If you put Tua in NFC right now, I can't say Brock and Jared are better than Tua.
I'm with you, by the way. And like I said, I think they end up paying him. I really do. But I'm just looking at the reality, which is if your expectations are to just win a playoff game, then I think you feel comfortable with Tua, because I think at some point he'll get over that hurdle, especially if the Dolphins can host a playoff game. But if your expectations are, hey, at some point we're going to have to beat Lamar Jackson, we're going to have to beat Patrick Mahomes, we're going to have to beat Joe Burrow, we're going to have to beat Josh Allen, like at least two of those in 3 games to get to the Super Bowl, man, like I came away from this weekend literally in my mind saying, he can't do the things that those guys can do. He just can't. So, Hawk, you're asking the path? Well, it's to avoid, 3-4 seasons from now looking back and saying we tied ourselves up to somebody who probably wasn't going to win us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but, man, what is the option? Like, it's like, okay, let's roll the dice on, and then all of a sudden you're 7-10.
It'll have to be a puppy. The answer would be you trade Tua, you get some mid-teen back, and you get one of your top 3 or 4 quarterback in the draft.
I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would, because you're not gonna get the results that you want on that year one. Well, now you're 3 years in to Mike McDaniel, but you're starting over. So it would have to if they don't extend him, the only thing that they, in my opinion, would be looking at is a trade for a veteran. Maybe a Justin Fields or a Russell Wilson or whomever.
You like Fields?
Not better than Tua.
That would be the question.
Listen, Tua's my guy. I like Tua.
It would be Fields because Russell's old.
I'd love to have someone who can run. Don't get me wrong.
And what could Mike McDaniel do with an athlete like Justin Fields?
Right, but is Justin Fields as accurate as Tua?
Nope.
No. And can he run this particular offense as well as Tua? I'm not certain, but he gives you the running element.
Yeah.
But you could run a different offense with him.
Right.
And does he need to be – I'm not even campaigning for Fields. I don't think that's the answer. But I'm just saying, like, you have a quarterback who can do one thing really well, play one style of offense really well, and what if you had another guy and you're able to run a different offense? That doesn't need to be as precise as Tua because you have elite weapons and because he's able to get out of the pocket and be mobile. Man, that play yesterday where Mahomes fakes the flip and he runs around the linebacker or the DB, like those are winning plays in moments where you needed something. Mahomes completed 17 passes yesterday. That's it.
But I really believe that Tua was told before the season, you are not to run unless it is the most final of options.
Yep.
And then once you're running, wherever you think you should slide 3 yards earlier. Like, I really believe that he was told going into this season, and not just by the Dolphins, probably by his agent.
Yeah.
You want to make hundreds of millions of dollars? Here's what you need to do. You need to go take jiu-jitsu, and this is what happens on the – I really do believe that he had the brakes put on him this season. And I think – because he went through a season uninjured, I think he'll have a little more leeway to be a little more mobile and kind of improv a little bit more as seasons progress now.
And look at the offenses. Look at this tree. The Kyle Shanahan really started, or hell, his daddy started really that tree of quarterbacks. Think about it. 49ers. Brock Purdy's not an athlete. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's
right.
not Josh Allen. Then you want to go to the Rams. They got rid of Matt Stafford to bring in Goff to bring in Stafford. Like, They don't need that. So the same tree that they came from, Solana, like, if you look at McDaniel and his buddies that he grew up under, they don't need a damn Cam Newton. They don't want a Justin Fields. They want that sit-in-the-pocket guy that can hit that poke, that call it a bang eight, the little quick slants off of the play action real fast.
Get the ball out real quick.
2.3 seconds.
Get to the next play.
Tua led the league in released points. Like, I think they pick the guys they want. And I don't know if McDaniel's offense, if he could, and I understand what you're saying, could McDaniel change his offense enough for a Justin Fields? I would have to see it to believe it.
I'm not campaigning again for Justin Fields. I'm just telling you, I think they built the offense around Tua's strengths, and his limitations are as evident as any quarterback I've ever watched. And I agree with you, Hawk. They told him, hey, don't take a hit, be smart, go down.
Like imposed limitations.
For sure. But
I'm not saying that he's a scrambler.
But by saying that, to me, what I'm extrapolating is next year you expect him to be more mobile. You expect him to lay his body on the line a bit more. And while I agree with you, I don't think he's capable of doing the things that we saw quarterbacks do all weekend. I just don't. And can he get out of the pocket a bit more? We saw it at Alabama. Can he lose a bit more pounds, less muscle, and be more mobile? Sure. But can he make the plays that we saw Lamar make running into the end zone? Josh Allen make on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1? Can he make the play Mahomes did yesterday? Even Jordan Love? Again, I don't think so. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think he can.
Never in his life.
I think he can.
Hawk.
I think he can.
You think Tua
He's
can go
built
for
like
40?
a brick bleep house. No,
Yeah,
I
he's not
think
fast though, Hawk.
Correct, but I do think that if you're in the red zone and you need to get into the end zone by any means necessary, I think he can do that. I think he was told specifically, do not do that.
I would bet, and I'm with you too. Stay healthy. The number one goal was not league in passing, not league in passing. It was to play 17 games. I think someone told him that, Hawk. I think Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen's mom could be Tua's mom in a race today. I think their fathers could be Tua's father in a race today. I don't think Tua's physically capable.
Could I beat Tua in a race today?
Plus 110?
Hey, even the fact that you had to think about it just thrills me.
And you're correct. I think that he was, like you're saying, not told but pushed not to put himself in danger. But I don't think he's built like those. Even Jordan Love, physically, he's not capable of doing what those guys do, even though he's more accurate and a better passer and a better decision maker than a lot of those guys. Hawk, but did you see when Lamar Jackson decides to tuck that ball, Hawk?
But he's never going to be Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be your league MVP.
He's never going to be
Although,
Josh
you know
Allen.
What? We did talk about him.
He's never going to be Josh Allen either.
Okay, but that might not be a bad thing because Josh Allen can't win a big game. Guy stinks. Guy stinks.
He needs to stay in the pocket and do what he does.
And
that's what Tua's going to have to do.
Somebody texts in, Hawk, are you getting a cut from his agent? Let's start that movement. Let me get a little piece of the Tua action.
What percentage you want?
Let's start that. 0.05%. I'd be thrilled. Let's get a quick look at headlines here for the 3 o'clock hour. We had a long conversation. Let's get a quick look at headlines with Solana.
Really quickly, Josh Allen, his only playoff wins. He has 5 playoff wins. Came against 40-year-old Phillip Rivers, Tyler Huntley against the Ravens, who was a rookie,
Pro Bowler,
Mac Jones, who was a rookie,
guy stinks,
Skylar Thompson last year, 7th-round rookie, and Mason Rudolph last week.
Guy stinks. Mason Rudolph versus Josh Allen was the stink bowl. Both those guys stink.
They stink.
Guy stinks.